Good evening, Bridgeport. Thanks for coming out tonight. It's Tuesday, November 25th. We are called to order. Please rise and pledge the flag. Thank you, everyone. Angela, roll call, please.
Kyle Shank.
Here.
Laura Hauk.
Here.
Amy High.
Here.
Megan Nolan.
Here.
Diane Gundrum. Tony Heil. Here. Saba Al-Zayed.
I'm here. Just want to note that Ms. Gundrum was not feeling well, so wishing her some well wishes, but she let us know. Thank you.
Madam President, I'd note for the record that we were in executive session from 7 o'clock to approximately 7:40 with regard to real estate issues.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. All right, first up here for council consideration, we have approval of October 28, 2025 meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
Make the motion. I'll second.
Motion, Ms. Nolan, second from Ms. Hauk. Do we have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. All right, just really quick for my update, just wanted to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Hope everyone enjoys their time with their family and friends. There's definitely a couple of events happening around town. If you wanted to hang out with others or maybe wanted to join someone else for some food, I know that we are posting a couple of them online. If you would like to know more details about them, feel free to reach out to me and I can direct you to where go get some yummy turkey and food. All right. For council consideration, we have ordinance 2025-03, amending the Borough of Bridgeport Code, Chapter 375, Parks and Recreations Areas.
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Mr. Heil.
I'll second.
Second from Ms. Houtz. Do you have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. All right, next up for council consideration, we have ordinance 2025-04, amending the Borough of Bridgeport Code, Chapter 353 for noise. And this was well kind of advertised and discussed, and we had a couple of comments that were adjusted here. Most notably, the time of the noise ordinance was one of them, which was extended just a bit, and a couple of just word changes, but nothing too drastic. If you are interested, definitely check it out online. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to come up after we have our first motion. Do we have a motion to open the floor to discuss it?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Ms. Hauk. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Shank. Do we have any questions or comments from council or the public?
I think this simplifies the issues on noise while also being empathetic to regular neighbor issues so that I can address it properly.
Yep. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Thank you. Next up here, we have Mr. Chairman giving us our presentation for the 2026 budget, and this is our final draft. Take it away.
All right, thank you all. For this evening, which presumably is going to be the conclusion of the 2026 budget process, we have two parts. First, we're going to do a brief review of the Liquid Fuels Fund and Capital Fund budget presentation, and then we're going to briefly recap the General Fund and Sewer Fund budget information that was discussed at the last meeting. So the Liquid Fuels Fund, few things to know. The Liquid Fuels Fund is the smallest portion of our budget. Our budget is broken into four primary funds. The General Fund, which is our main operating budget. The Sewer Fund, which is the operating budget for the sewer plant. The Capital Fund, which is our annual operating budget for our large expenditures, aka capital purchases or capital projects. And then smallest of all is the Liquid Fuels Fund. Point number two, it's comprised entirely of annual state awarded money that every municipality receives based on the number of road miles that they have. Our 2026 estimate is from PennDOT is $115,519. And because this is money that is given back to municipalities by the state and recouped through the gasoline tax, there are certain restrictions on it. It can only be used on street-related maintenance and expenses. For example, street lights and traffic signals, and that includes both the utility expenses for those and repair and acquisition and maintenance of those lights and signals. Snow removal, which includes purchasing salt, street repairs, vehicle and equipment repairs and purchases. But again, those vehicles and that equipment can only be utilized for street-related or public works-related issues. In other words, we can't use liquid fuels money to purchase a fire truck or a police vehicle or a building inspector vehicle. It has to be street crew vehicles or street crew equipment. And then finally, our liquid fuels fund is in really healthy shape. We currently have reserves of over $300,000 in this account, which is a helpful rainy day fund for bad winters, future vehicle purchases, and other unexpected streets-related costs. Moving on to the capital fund, I realized that we had presented the requests from each department in October for capital purchases in 2026. This is just a final synopsis of what is proposed to be included in our 2026 capital fund. So starting off, account 600-301, these are streets expenses, and the grand total for this category or line item would be $850,000. And it's comprised of three primary projects. The 440 Mill Street project, or the old Camelot parking lot, estimated cost of $600,000. One of our block grant projects, which is comprised of inlet and sewer inlet box and ADA ramp upgrades at $200,000, and the Borough Line Road Culvert project, which is projected to have a cost as we wrap this one up of $50,000 next year. Next up, account 600-401, our parks capital fund expenditures, $1.75 million, and it's comprised of the following: the Memorial Park improvements, an estimated cost of $650,000. Albeit, we are still waiting for an answer from the local share account grant program. And if we are awarded the grant for this application, $543,000 of that $650 would be covered by the grant. Secondly, the Front Street Pocket Park project. And again, this is estimated at $1 million in cost. However, between two different grants, we have over $1 million in funding that would fully cover the cost of this project. And then finally, the Bridgeport Rail Trail design. This $100,000 is an estimated cost for ongoing design and planning work in relation or in association with the rail trail project, which is the TASA grant project that was presented to council a few meetings ago. And this $100,000 represents the local match portion of what the borough would put up for this project. And with any luck, PennDOT or Harrisburg would cover the rest of the costs of the project. Number three, the sewer department capital fund requests are coming in at $750,000. And this is comprised completely of the trickling filter sinkhole repair. And now, just full disclosure, we have actually already begun working on this project and making good progress on it. However, given how late in the year we've begun this, most of the invoicing is going to occur in 2026. And the $750,000 is, I think, I don't want to call it a worst case scenario figure, but that is a on the higher end of the spectrum of what it could cost. The borough received $530,000 in insurance claim money for this cost, and with any luck, we can hopefully stay under budget with completing this project and not have to reach that projected ceiling of $750,000. And number 4, admin/community development expenses coming in at $1 million in capital fund purchases for 2026. And again, just in the effort of transparency, this does not constitute or point to any one specific acquisition. This is a placeholder figure for the potential acquisition of additional properties, as well as the potential demolition of properties that may have already been or may be in the future acquired by the borough. And again, it's all based on what opportunities present themselves to the borough. There is a distinct possibility that we spend significantly less than $1 million on this, and there is a possibility that it exceeds $1 million. It really depends on, again, what opportunities avail themselves to the borough and if they make sense from a strategic standpoint. And then 5th, police expenses are coming in at $25,000 next year, and that is for the varying equipment that was discussed at that aforementioned capital projects request meeting. A host of different, the tasers, speed radar, Evolus radar signs, vests, things of that nature. So grand totaled, we are looking at a proposed capital budget expenses in 2026 of $4.375 million. Moving on to a brief recap of the general and sewer fund budgets. Just as a refresher, the 2026 general fund budget is proposed to be $6,874,500 in next year. This represents an increase of $527,000, or an 8.3% increase over top of the 2025 budget of $6,347,500. And conversely, for the sewer fund, the projected or proposed budget for 2026 is $1,585,560, and this represents an increase of $26,460, or 1.7% greater than the 2025 budgeted figure of $1.559 million. Moving on, again, as noted at our previous meeting, real estate tax and earned income tax revenues are projecting to increase for 2026, but at the same time, we have several other revenue streams that are projecting to decrease by a grand total of $337,000 next year. Operating expenses continue to increase, and multiple planned capital projects, including the acquisition of strategic properties throughout the borough, are projecting to require a significant borrowing and therefore an increase in debt service in 2026 that our current revenue streams would not be able to cover. Therefore, there is a proposed increase of 1 mil, which equates to 0.001% to our municipal millage rate, which would provide the needed funding to account for the majority, if not all, of the projected debt service increase in 2026. And just to illustrate, the old municipal millage rate is 12.23 mils, or 1.223%, and the new municipal millage rate being proposed is 13.23 mils, or 1.323%. Again, as we discussed at the last meeting, here are some hypothetical impacts to three very real and very different properties throughout the borough. Up top, you're looking at a row home on Bush Street, which is assessed at $77,000 and change. This increase would represent this millage increase would represent a new tax bill that increased by $98. Next, we have a home on Grove Street assessed at $105,000. This would represent a new tax bill with an increase of about $133. And then finally, you have a home on Holstein Street assessed at $145,850. This new tax bill, after the proposed millage increase, would increase by $185.23. And again, this is an annual increase, not a quarterly or semi-annual increase. The average assessed value of a Bridgeport home sits at or near $100,000. Therefore, a 1 mil increase would equate to an annual tax increase of about $100 for the average home in Bridgeport. And just to show the chart that I always show every year that shows where your taxpayer dollar, the Bridgeport resident or Bridgeport taxpayer dollar goes. With this new millage, our total aggregate millage rate would increase from 41.882 mils to 42.882 mils. And as you can see, the municipal or borough portion of your tax dollar, 31% of the resident's tax dollar would be going to the borough, 12% would be going to the county, and still with the lion's share of the residential tax dollar at 56% is the school district at 24.01 mils. This 31% compared to current millage rate increased from 29% to 31%. So the borough's representative share of the tax dollar would increase from 2 percentage points. And then another slide that I like to show council and residents every year is where the borough ranks in terms of total millage rate throughout the county, which is comprised of Montgomery County has 62 different municipalities in it. There you can see the top 10 in the county, and with this proposed increase of 1 mil going up to 42.882, we would be 39th out of 62 municipalities, or 23rd, 39th highest or 23rd lowest, depending on how you look at it. And previously at 41.882, our current millage rate, I should say, we were 43rd out of 62 municipalities. So with this increase, there is a slight increase in that overall rank. With this first proposed millage increase in 16 years. I would open it up to council for any questions. Excuse me. Seeing none from council, I would respectfully turn the meeting back over to President Alzayed.
Thank you, Mr. Truman. Thanks for all the effort, you and the staff kind of putting this together and working so hard on it. I know we've all kind of reviewed separately and either asked our questions, and if not, we have some time, because our next item here is to authorize to advertise the 2026 budget. So if anyone has a motion, we can do that.
Make the motion.
Motion, from Ms. Howe. Do we have any second?
I'll second it.
Second, Mr. Schenk. Do you have any questions or comments from council or the public before we advertise?
Love the late 90s clip art there at the end of the
Always,
presentation.
always, every year.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Thank you. Next up here for council considerations, authorization to advertise the ordinance 2025-05, establishing the municipal tax rate for 2026. So we just went over. Do you have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion from Ms. Haug.
Second.
Second, Mr. Schenk. Do you have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Thank you. Last up here for council consideration, I have authorization to pay the bills and salaries for November 2025.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion for Mr. Howell, second Ms. Nolan. Do you have any questions or comments from council or the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. All right, we can move on to unfinished business. Are there any items of unfinished business we'd like to discuss? All right, we can move on to committee reports. Are there any committee reports this evening? All right, we can move on to the mayor's report. Mayor Jack's here.
Thank you. I just want to thank everyone who attended the estate planning program last week. Our presenter, Bridgeport resident Chloe Mullen Wilson, shared some very important information, and we were all glad to have been there. And I also can't wait to see everyone at the Festive Lights and Holiday Shopping Village events this Saturday afternoon and evening. It's one of my personal favorite events of the year, and if you've never been, you'll see why. It's filled with seasonal cheer and brings our community together despite the chilly weather. So thank you to the Community Fund and Growing Bridgeport Together for creating this opportunity for fun. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, move on to the chief's report. Chief, it's all you.
Good evening, Bridgeport. So, Bridgeport Police and the Bridgeport Police Association had put out onto the Facebook page regarding Spread Joy this holiday season, bringing joy to family, our annual holiday wish list program. So this is the time for giving, and we're reaching out to our wonderful community to help make this season a little bit brighter for children in need. We're proud to announce our annual toy drive and are asking for your monetary support to bring joy to children and families within our borough. How can you help? With the generous contributions from our community supporters, we make holiday dreams come true for kids of all ages. Each year, our holiday program provides toys, clothing, and special gifts to children of low-income families so they may experience the enchantment of the season. Thanks to our community donations, our officers and volunteers purchase and deliver gifts to families before Christmas. Our program is entirely dependent on community funding and volunteer efforts. Donation, please consider donating by 12/19 of 2025 by 4 p.m. to ensure it is included in our holiday gift distribution. Checks can be made payable to the Bridgeport Police Association with the memo line of Wish List Fund or by using the QR code that you will see posted on social media. So if you could spread that word, we greatly appreciate it. And see Matt Stead at mstead@bridgeportpd.com with any questions. We greatly appreciate it. Dovetailing in with that, the Bridgeport Police and some volunteers will be conducting the holiday shopping at Target on December 11th at 10 a.m. If there's some special people that wish to participate, please give us a call. We'd appreciate it. Great. Some recent law, it's called the Paul Miller Law, and you will see it posted up on the Bridgeport community sign out front. But just to give you a little bit, it's make it home, text later. Section 3316.1 is prohibiting the use of mobile devices. From June 5th of this year to June 5th of 2026, there'll be warnings only. After that, citations to follow with a $50 fine. On July 5th of 2010, Paul Miller was killed when an 18-wheeler crossed over a divider, a grass center divider, and traveled head-on to Paul's car. And the fault was found to be involving with the distracted driving. So understand that that's one of the things that we're going to be looking for. Dovetailing in with that, again, with enforcement, we'll be out there with the Thanksgiving Day Click It or Ticket program. So we'll be out there conducting additional enforcement in around between now and the next 2 weeks for the holiday program for those special details. I'd like to announce the arrest for burglary of a Scott Sprague of Lima, Ohio. He thought that it would be a good idea to leave his state and take advantage of the state of Pennsylvania by an interstate crime spree where he ended up getting involved into a storage unit, using deception to get in and stealing multiple units, taking them back to Ohio, except he was uncovered. We tracked him down, and on next Monday, we're going to be driving him back from Lima, Ohio, so he can meet some Pennsylvania justice. Also, we arrested 2 days ago Sabri Perry of Philadelphia for a burglary of the John Byrne Painting Center. For those that may or may not know, we have a warrant for Brittany Hisner. She is local for a felony theft of lottery tickets from East 4th Street. So if you see Brittany, send her our way, or just call 911 and we'll be there. Lastly, the bus patrol that I reported about, us, Upper Merion, West Conshohocken, and the Upper Merion School District have agreed to, and will be following through on this bus patrol program wherein extra video and cameras are on the buses, external videos. If someone passes a school bus with the lights on, video will be taken, it'll be sent to bus patrol, they'll review it, and they will send it to the different agencies. It's a civil process, it's very streamlined, there's very little for the police to do other than coordinate and ensure that the information is accurate. But in some jurisdictions, you'd be surprised about how many times people just do not pay attention to school buses. So this will be a force multiplier for us. So pay attention if you don't pay attention already when the kids are going out to school and following school buses, because there'll be a price for that. That's all I have for you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I apologize for buttoning it. I was laughing just a little bit because of the person stealing in Ohio, because you told me the details about how they tried to sell online and the evidence. And it's just very, while you can get away with crimes in this country, in this world, there's still so much video footage and online footage that it's not really worth your time to steal things and try and sell them online. But also the Paul Miller law, people might think it's not a big deal in a town where you're mostly driving a little bit, or it's a small town, but that's mostly where you're driving is within a mile of your home. And there's, like you said, school buses. That law is very personal to me. I know Paul and Eileen Miller, who fought for that law. Paul Miller Sr. Developed ALS after losing his son in that accident. The stress of that, and they became big advocates for multiple things. So they turned their pain into something really powerful and will hopefully save lives. And I was actually talking with Eileen today because we're friends, and told her about how your police report had mentioned it, and she's wanted to express her appreciation for you taking it seriously. So from her to you, I just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you, Vice President Heil.
I just wanted to say thank you for all of your community efforts. I know that this morning I was listening to the radio, and I think it was 101.3, and there was a shout out to Bridgeport Police Drive for, so I just think it's great that, even the community seeing the effort. It's something that we're a part of every year, and it's just a really fun time to kind of come together, and you guys do a really good job with it. So just I want to thank you and you guys for kind of pulling it all together for us. In addition to that, the coats that you and I believe Dave Nash secured, if I'm not mistaken, you guys did such a wonderful job. They were really well received during our food drive and donation. So thank you everyone to kind of being a part of that. Neighborlies and 4th Street Cafe and all the different volunteers that we had, but the coats were gone pretty quickly when people really needed them. So thank you for contributing there too.
Thank you, President.
All right, we can move on to new business. Are there any items of new business anyone would like to discuss? All right, we can move on to open forum announcements. Are there any announcements this evening? Just wanted to piggyback off of what Mayor Beth Jack Sear was mentioning about the Holiday Village this coming weekend. It's supposed to be really fun. We have the Grinch coming again this year, so him and his sassy self will be around the borough from 4 to 7 p.m. taking pictures, getting into trouble, and having a lot of fun during the Holiday Village. We also will have a train set, free rides, and hot chocolate, and I believe pretzels, and that so lots of different stuff to do and free activities for the family. So hope you come, do some shopping, and support a small local business, and hope to see you there. Are there any other announcements?
I did want to make one real fast. Just a reminder for Sunday from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. there is going to be secondhand Sunday in the Frosty Frost parking lot. So it's an opportunity to come buy something secondhand. We have a lot of people that are coming. So if you were on a really tight budget, make sure you swing by to find a perfect gift for your loved one.
Yeah, really excited for that. I know me and Laura Gamble are going in on a table, so should have some fun. All right. We can move on to public comment. Are there any members of the public wish to speak this evening? Yeah, go on. Go ahead.
Get me out of that chair. Bob Demorad, 602 Ford Street. About the assessments, I guess. A lot of people were wondering about this River Point project, because the last meeting I heard about, basically, when you get down to it, the assessments on the properties in Bridgeport of 80 to 100-year-old homes is like $100,000, the assessment. Now, the River Point project advertised they have homes down there of $600,000 and up, $700,000, you know, all high-end stuff. But that wasn't mentioned last meeting. How many homes are sold down there as far as homes go? And I know there's condos down there too. So are they occupied? How many of those places are occupied? And how many of them are going to be on our on our tax base that are sharing all these expenses here in Bridgeport? Because I'm sure their assessments have to be more than $100,000.
So, Bob, understand, and I'm sure you do, you're a smart guy. Assessed value versus appraised value are two very different things.
I understand that, but
you
if you have a $450,000 house, let's say, it's going to be assessed at $100,000
It's going to be assessed at
in that neighborhood.
$500,000, $600,000 house somewhere in there is probably going to be, unfortunately, while it would be north of $200,000 in another municipality, in Bridgeport, probably somewhere between $140,000 and $150,000.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's not what people are expecting. I would think I'd be higher than that.
In fact, the three property examples I showed, the one on Holstein is one of the Mother of Sorrows homes, and you know the quality and the prices those went for. So yes, and so a house that is a house in the $500,000 to $600,000 price range assesses for somewhere between, I'd say, anywhere from $140,000 to $150,000 in the borough.
So,
Which we have zero control over. To your second question, Bob, I don't have an exact number. I will correct you on one point. There aren't condos. There are no condos. Those are all townhomes. There are duplexes. They're first level's a home, a stacked unit, but they are separately deeded and separately owned, and each one, first and second floor, pay two separate tax bill rolls. So no condos down there, all single-family dwellings, attached, not detached. 350 total homes. I don't know exactly how many are sold or occupied at this point. I know that in 2026, there will be 24 homes left to be constructed, and in addition to the homes that are currently under construction. So let's spitball it and say at least 275 have been purchased at this point.
I see. So, does the borough plow those roads, or is there like a owners association down there that takes care of that? Does the borough trucks plow those streets?
They don't yet, Bob.
I mean, will they?
The plan, there is a dedication plan for that development, and the dedication plan on tap is to accept dedication of those streets as borough streets. Yes, Bob.
Okay, so there are our streets, so we have to maintain those streets. There's a park down there. I know there was a thing years ago with their setting up their park. If there was a flood and any kind of debris got washed up down there, that they were responsible for it. Are they still responsible for it, or will the borough street guys have to go down there and pull trees out of their park? I never seen the park. I don't know. I just know there was a planned park for down there.
I'm not sure exactly what piece of the property you're referring to, Bob. I'd have to review it and get back to you on that one, sir.
All right. Because I know there was some type of park they were going to have for their people down there along the river. And there was a talk about, well, if any debris, if during a flood or something, even though it's built up, but if any debris got in there, that the property owner or somebody was responsible for it, that Bridgeport wasn't responsible for this. I'm sure things got changed a lot. I know things got changed a lot through this whole thing, okay? I know that.
I can't say I recall the conversation that you're referring to, but
Yeah, I remember it
but
real
you're
good.
right. Over many years with two different between O'Neill and the current developers and a couple tire kickers in between, conversations and plans do change over 20 some odd years. Yeah.
So when you said last meeting that all the permits they had to get, it was a fortune in permits that they had to get, was actually bankroll in Bridgeport. So now, when the buildings are there, it doesn't look so good.
I can't say you lost me on that logic train, Bob.
Well, there are permits that they needed to build, from what I heard last meeting.
For every piece of construction in the borough has to, generally files an application, and there is a application fee. Yes, sir.
Really bankrolled the borough of Bridgeport. Really, there was a lot of money coming in.
Yes, I would say that for the last 16 years where there were no tax increases, the last 5 of those years, that riverfront was responsible almost single-handedly from keeping those tax increases, extended it from 11 to 16 years, I'd say. Yeah.
I see. All right, that's all. People watching on TV because they wanted to know. Now they know. Thanks.
You got it, sir.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. Thanks for your questions. Are there any other members of the public who wish to speak this evening? All right, we can certainly entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, it is 8:18. Thanks for coming, everyone. We are adjourned.